Flosstube, it's Valerie, and I'm afraid I'm on the naughty list because I have been very bad about coming back and wishing you all pre-getting ready for your holidays video. Sorry I've been in absentia, but you know what it's like this time of year, it's just crazy, so please forgive me. We had a lovely Thanksgiving. Oh, did I say it's the 15th of December? God. Can't believe it. Anyway, whether you celebrate Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa, I'm sure you're all feeling the same craziness that's out and about. I do mostly order online for my gifts for the most part, but there are always some things you can't do that with, so you have to go out into the fray. And when I do, it's always such a big shock to me. I can't believe how many people are out in the roads. I can't believe that, you know, Tuesday morning at 10:30, there are that many people lined up with their stuff, you know, because you think, oh, I'll just run in and see if there's one little thing I want to grab. And first of all, you can't find it or it's not there. And then if you do find something, there's 20 people in line in front of you. So you're like, oh, right, this 15-second errand is now going to take me an hour and a half. That's the way it goes. Anyway, we had a very nice Thanksgiving. My daughter got home safely from college, and it was wonderful to see her. And we're getting very excited because she's due to come back next week for Christmas. And my son, who lives in California, is coming in too. So I will have all three of them here, and that will be wonderful. I'm very pleased because last giveaway was the Stacy Nash, the one that you had to do over 3. And whoever won that, I don't have her name right here. Jackie Schmidt finally got in touch with me. I don't think I should say finally because I let it go so long, which is good because eventually she got in touch with me and said, I've been trying to reach you. Have you not received any of my emails and things? And I said, no. And I went all through them. So, you know, Priscilla and Chelsea are always saying that Gmail can be weird, and I agree with them. I think it can be funny. So if you are a winner ever and you email me and you don't hear back from me saying, great, got your email, we'll be sending the package or whatever, then contact me again. And if Gmail doesn't seem to be working, on Instagram, I'm also Stitching in the Barn. So you can find me there and direct message me there, which is in fact how Jackie eventually got a hold of me. So I was very pleased about that. I do have a winner to announce for, can you believe it, the Halloween magazine. Seems like a year ago. Anyway, the winner for this is Elix_Shunsoro or Ciansoro 123. It's ELIX and then underscore SEANSORO 123, who is from Paris. So I don't know if you guys remember, but that was the question, you know, what's your heredity or where do you come from, whatever. And she said, I live in Paris and that's where I'm from. So, c'est bon. So here is the magazine, and I will be happy to mail that to you. So just remember, try multiple ways to get in touch with me. Leave me a message wherever you can, and hopefully I'll get this out to the mail and you can stitch something for next year. I did have some questions from last time also. I'm talking about the time before Teresa Baird. By the way, wasn't she fantastic? She's such a delightful person. Her work is unbelievable, and I had so much fun. So I'm glad some of you, you know, were not aware of her works before, and I'm really pleased to be able to bring that to you. You know, I was very negligent in that interview because I did not say the name of her company, which is Heart's Ease Exemplary Works. And I will put that across the screen at the bottom so you can see. So if you're looking for her patterns, that's what you should Google, or Teresa Baird, B-A-I-R-D. And it's Teresa with a T-H. Oh, maybe I better double check that. I think it is a TH. So look for Teresa Baird or look for Heart's Ease Exemplary Works patterns. And I know Kitten Stitcher had some, Stitching Bits and Bobs had some, My LNS, which is the Strawberry Sampler, in Pennsylvania has some, but you can also order them directly from Teresa. And I do believe that it's more beneficial to her if you do order them directly from her, and it might even be more beneficial to you too. So look into that. And she is so accommodating and so helpful, and would tell you if it has, you know, how many specialty stitches or whatever, if you're concerned about it. But as she likes to say, suck it up and do it anyway. People ask me about the book about Emily Dickinson and True Confession Time. I have not read it. I've renewed it twice. I'm down to my last renewal at the library. I think it's due now January 3rd. And it's just been, you know, as you know, the pre-Thanksgiving, pre-Christmas rush around here. So I haven't been able to sit down and read it. When I do get to sit down, I usually stitch. And so I might look for it on tape, like Audible book or something, because then I can listen and stitch at the same time, which I love. But I do want to read this. And I started to read it, and it seemed like it was going to be really good. But anyway, it's called Lives Like Loaded Guns, Emily Dickinson and Her Family's Feuds. And it is by Lyndall Gordon, Lindallgordon, Lyndall Gordon. So Lives Like Loaded Guns, and it really focuses on her family and their relationships with the other people in Amherst, Massachusetts, which was quite gossipy and fun, I was told. So hopefully I will get around to reading this, and if you find it, you will enjoy it too, I hope. One thing I also wanted to mention about Emily Dickinson, which I forgot to say, was that apparently the cadence of her poetry, she based a lot on hymns. So that's why it was kind of fun to put that hymn in for the music for that particular video. What is it? Come thou font of every blessing, something like that. I'm having a brain thing. Too much rattling around in there. But anyway, I thought that was neat. I like knowing a little nuance of that. When you read a poem and you have a little insight into it, it helps you appreciate it more. It's like when you go to an art museum, I used to poo-poo people who would rent the headphones. I'd be like, look at it yourself, or read the signs, you know, and look at it yourself. But one time I went with a friend, and she just rented them and handed it to me, and I listened, and I got so much more out of the exhibit. I'm like, what a fool I am. You know, pride goeth before a fall. You can embroider that on a pillow if you want. So that was about Emily Dickinson. Someone asked the fabric and count of the Baby It's Cold SAL I was doing, and I'll show that to you, but it was 36 count ale, 1/2, and that brings me to finishes. So here it is, Heartstring Samplery, Baby It's Cold Outside. It was the called for 36 count ale, and I did it 1/2. And let's see if I have something I can hold it up with. Let's see. I had these all ironed, and then I put them away, and they got all wrinkled again. Anyway, there it is. I changed the color on the barn, and I changed the color of the glowing light, because the barn, I've got all this written down somewhere, and of course not here. The barn I know was supposed to be pomegranate, and mine was really pink. It didn't look right at all. So I changed it to, you know what? I do have it written down. Hold on. Where? In here. I have a little notebook I write these things down in. If I can find it. Yes. I changed the red from pomegranate to barn door, which seemed more like a barn red to me, brownish, reddish, without being too brown and not too pink. And the glowing light from the windows was supposed to be harvest moon, but mine was super orangey, so I changed that to honeycomb, which was more of a golden yellow. So there it is. Yay! I should, for the next video, pull out all the things I've done this year that I have finished and not fully finished, and that will give me incentive to get my little self in gear for next year. I think that would be a good challenge to try and finish some things. Where should I put this? Put it down there. Okay. Next finish. Well, it's understandable I had so many finishes because it's been so long since I did a video. Little House Needleworks coming to America. And by the way, I made a mistake or two on Baby It's Cold. Not too many. This one, again, I had ironed this and it's all been rolled up now, so it's kind of wrinkly, but I made mistakes on this too, but hopefully you don't know where, so what you don't know can't hurt you. This was fun to stitch until I got to the water up here. For some reason, I just kept making mistakes. I made mistakes about the water, I made mistakes with the buildings. I don't know what was going on in my head, but I did put my initials and date this one. I don't always do that. I don't know why I did that. Someone wrote to me and they said they were going to put the cities that their families moved to, sort of to commemorate their arrival in America, which I thought was a really neat idea. Having Philadelphia on there in big, bold letters is good enough for me, because that's pretty much, I think, where one side of my family anyway. I didn't put Ohio on there because it was not an East Coast landing spot, but as you know, a lot of my family managed to get there. The other thing I was going to say is that I was thinking of this as a Thanksgiving piece, you know, like pilgrims and people making a journey and coming to America, and somebody else said, we'll put it out for 4th of July too, which is a great idea, of course, duh. Hashtag duh, as Stephanie would say. So there it is, all done. I like that, it was fun. That was done on, hold your horses, handy dandy book checking. That was done on, well, now I'll tell you what, the books don't work if you don't write the stuff down. 32 count vintage Sahara Belfast linen, 2/2, which I hadn't done for a while. So it was kind of fun to switch it up and do a 2/2. And work in progress. I was going to do the last of my Stitch 9 challenge, which was the Horse Country Holiday by Artful Offerings, but I couldn't find it. So I pulled out, this had also been Stitch 9, but I was kind of cheating because I said I was going to do one of these for Stitch 9, and I did do one, but then I thought, oh, I should do all three. This is silly. I'm talking about All Through the Night. I had already done Jack, and he's in my pile of things that need to be fully finished. And so there's left Henry and Harry, and I did, well, I'm working on Harry. And I'm using 30 count tin roof, which is called for, and not all the called for colors, because I didn't like the way my sweater was looking. So I think I switched one of those out. Instead of using, well, my mulberry is sort of brownish, and I did not have the color that's supposed to go on the sides of that, which was cranberry. So I picked one from my stash, and I ended up picking a Weeks color instead of a Gentle Arts, because all the others are Gentle Arts. I picked crimson, which is the darker color that goes around here, and then it goes around the cuffs of the sweater. I think that looks fine. I made so many mistakes on this, and I'm blaming, here we go, blaming your tools instead of the workman. It's this floppy Weeks linen, and I stitch in hand, and so it gets distorted kind of as you're holding it, like it can get pulled diagonally. So I find I go a lot of times, instead of skipping 2 threads, I skip 3, and vice versa. So I fudged a whole lot in his trousers, because I was way off, but I do not think you're going to be able to tell. So I have to finish his hat. He gets some holly in his hat, and the rest of the hat gets filled in. There's a couple little birds flitting around his shoulders. I have to finish the bunny, and there's another bunny rabbit over here, and then his arm holding carrots in each hand. So it doesn't look like a lot, but think it'll keep me occupied for a while. I'm not sure I like how the carrot variegated on his nose. It got very light right up here. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to go over that with a single thread just to darken it up a little, or whether I'm just going to leave it alone, but I'm not pulling it out. I know that. And you know, if I paid more attention as I was stitching instead of... We've been watching something on Netflix about the Scottish Isles, which I'm loving. However, it's one of those things where you don't want to miss the beauty of things, so you're looking all the time. You know, I prefer it if my husband is watching something that I'm not that interested in, because then I don't need to look up very often. But complaint. So my plans are to finish old Harry. I think that was his name. I don't think I'll start in on Henry right away. You know what? If you hold on one second, I think I can show you how I intend to finish them, if I can find them. Yes. Hello. Little interlude there. I have a bunch of these. They are very old kitchen graters. And what I like to do sometimes is put greenery in them, or sometimes I'll put a ribbon on the handle, and I'll put a candle inside, and you know, like a little tea light or something, and they look pretty glowing. But I had this idea, which I got from someone else on Flosstube, that the three little snowmen would look pretty darn cute standing up on these. So I think that's what I'm going to try and do. I will try and, you know, put him on some sort of mat board and then attach that, probably with magnets, to one of these. I just thought it'd be cute. And you could put some little sprigs of greenery around the top as well. And then they would stand up pretty nicely by themselves. So it's a way of doing a flat fold without having to do a flat fold, I guess. Okay, so plans going forward. I found my horse country holiday, but I did not find the fabric that I intended to do it on. I don't know if you remember, I had this pattern, but I wanted to get the spring green country sampler conversion, because I love their old and crusty one that they did. So I sent for that from them. So I have it now, but I did find this fabric in my stash, Dapple, 40 count. And if I can get my act together, I would like to make this for my sister for Christmas, because Dapple isn't quite as green as this. So it may not look as cute, but I think it's kind of a grayish green. I think it would look pretty cute. And 40 count, it'd be pretty small. I think that'd be a very cute little pin cushion or something. So I might do it on this for her. I'd like to start it in some fashion before the end of the year, because that way I feel like I've at least started on the final of my Stitch 9 projects. So we'll see. We'll see if I get to that or not. I think once the children get home, I'm going to be, you know, pretty well occupied. Although I will say they are at the age, they want to go and see their friends and stuff, and so I will get some time to myself to stitch. Somebody asked me one other thing. In the opening photographs of the video before Teresa Baird, I showed, it's a print we have of a wood carving by an artist called Mary Shelley. And if you look up Mary Shelley folk art or folk wood carving, and it's Shelley, she's based in Ithaca, New York, and she does these amazing wood carvings, big wood carvings. She'll carve the wood and then she paints them, and they have a very primitive, very whimsical quality. And a lot of her themes are farmers, so she'll have the cows and the farms. She also has a whole series on diners, which are really fun, with the waitresses and the diners. Her mom was, disclosure, her mom was a friend of my mother's in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. So we used to go over to her mom's house, and she had a fantastic one of an orchestra. I've never seen her do that again. Maybe it's just a special thing for her mother, but she had the whole orchestra, and it looked like you were in the Academy of Music in Philadelphia, because she had the balconies and the, you know, the people in the audience. You see all the back of their heads. It was just a really neat folk wood carving. And then she paints them. She does a lot of people sailing, and she will do commissions. I do not own any of hers. They're a little pricey. And we have 3 children we're putting through college. Someday I'd love to have one. So what I did was I bought the next best thing. I got a print of one of her carvings. So that's what you saw. It was a print that she made of one of her wood carvings, and mine was all sheep. And they're like peeking out of the frame, which I love. So that's Mary Shelley. And thank you to all the people who commented about my Christmas cactus. I never knew, people said, you know, there are such things as Thanksgiving cactuses, and I think even a Halloween cactus or a New Year's cactus or something. I never knew there were different ones. I just always called it a Christmas cactus and would laugh at how it flowered early, I thought, because it flowers around Thanksgiving. And it was in full bountiful glory at Thanksgiving, and now it doesn't have a flower on it. It's completely finished. And the woman who commented said, actually several people did, but one said, mine had particularly spiky leaves, and she said that's really more typically a Thanksgiving cactus. So you learn something new every day. Isn't that interesting? I do have a little bit of haul because it's been months. And what I do is I pay attention if different people are having sales. I will look through, and if there's something I've had on my little list, I will spring for it. Some of these came from Jen's Stitching Niche. Some of these came from some other sites. I can't remember just now, but I'll show you what I've got. I think this one was... I just filmed a whole video, the whole rest of the video, and realized that it cut off because somebody called me in the middle of it, and I guess that shut it down, so oops. Here I go again. I think I was saying that this was inspired by my pals, Brenda the Sampler Stitcher, and her friend Laura, Serial Starter. And it is from Jen's Stitching Niche, and it's The Christmas Bird by Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. And I was saying I just love it on that dark fabric. I'm going to have to go through my stash and see if I have anything like that. It's called for Chestnut Linen by Weeks Dye Works, 35 count. So I'll have to find something equivalent if I can't find that. But isn't that pretty? I love the sort of chocolatey brownness of the background there. And this one, I thought she was really cute. Pineberry Lane, Sprig of Holly. And I was saying I love how these little things are made into little bags that you can hang from a doorknob or something and tuck greenery into it, or candy canes, stuff like that. I might give her hair, I'm not sure. Although I quite like her with the way she looks. And look, this is a little spool, isn't that cute? She's tucking the sprig into her hat, which I like. And the little dove and the snowflakes. This calls for 36 count Lakeside Linen Vintage Sand Dune. So I should try and finish something like that. I love drums, and I've never made one. Of course, I've never attempted to finish one, but I've never made one. But I love this, the Dark Horse Pin Keep drum. Again, Stacy Nash. Isn't that pretty? Here's the other side with the little horse. I don't know what that flower is. It almost looks like was going to say Queen Anne's lace, but no, because it's got pods, sort of. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought it was very pretty. And in the same theme, these were from different places. I don't remember exactly where I got these, but this is Stacy Nash Primitive's Merry Christmas Pin Keep Drum. So maybe my next Christmas I'll have that done. Love that. And then this last one, I've looked at this and looked at it and looked at it and finally went, okay. Feliz Navidad. Blackbird Designs. So pretty. Maybe by next Christmas. I'm wondering what this calls for. Let's see. 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. Nice creamy neutral. Okay. Now, I think when the video stopped recording, I had not yet shown you my little treasures. I was talking about my terrible family and how they react to things, and I bought at the fair, North Penn Art Fair this year, some more goodies by my friend Debbie Marinelli, and I was very pleased with this one. In fact, I was so pleased I saved it for a big reveal on Thanksgiving. Like right before we were going to sit down and have dinner, I snuck in and put it on the table, and my husband and terrible children came in and burst into peals of derisive laughter and said, "What is that?" And I said, "What? My special thing?" And they go, "Yes, the Tartan Terror." Well, in all fairness, this is what they saw. It doesn't look very impressive there. So for the rest, you know, and I showed them all its wondrousness, but they kept giggling and turning it around so that this is all you saw. But here she is. Isn't she nice? I love her. I think she's magnificent. Debbie found some old tiles and put them on here, gobble, and then she put cloves in there, which I thought was so clever, which have a clovey scent, and then beautiful punch needling, and stuffed it and put it on this old wooden darner, is what it is, sock darner or something. So I love how she puts the old and new things together, and I just thought it was really neat. So I love it. I'm going to use it every year, whatever they say. Some other Debbie Marinelli goodies and punch needle things I can share with you. This was from last year, and cinnamon still smells really good. It's a lovely little bag that I hang on a cabinet door, and it's a little snowman with a star and rusty jingle bells at the top, and just a simple cording at the top, and I think he's darling. You could put some green in there or some, you know, candy canes like we were saying with the other things. Here's another old Debbie, I mean, when I say old, it means I've had this for a couple years. Debbie Marinelli. And I don't know what this is. If somebody can tell me what this is it for like making mince pies or something, meat pies? Because it's too big to be a cookie cutter and it's too small to be a pie. So maybe it's like a little tart tin thing. But at any rate, it's very cute. And you could put some greenery on here or around here or a ribbon or something. But I love the little log cabin and the snowman. If you can see, her punching is so even. It's so beautiful. This one, I can't remember if I did this. It's too nicely finished to have been finished by me, but I may have done the actual punching. But it's this little snowman. I think he's cute. He goes up in winter time. I could save him and not put him out for Christmas and put him up when everybody's putting up snowmen things. I might do that with him this year. I haven't decided. Because I've already kind of bedecked to the hilt, as my husband would say. He's like, how much more bedecking are you going to be doing? There's nowhere to put a coffee cup down. Stuff like that. Oh, well, I told you, terrible, terrible. This next one I'm particularly pleased with. This is punched by Teresa Koga herself. It's her design. And she finished it. And isn't that cute? Look at her beautiful punching, too. and she has written her name on the back, but I think when I go to StitchCon, because I know she's going to be there, I'd love to have her sign the back of it. I'm so thrilled to have that. It's like having a piece of original art, you know, by her. It is. I mean, that is what it is. It's her design, it's her finish, it's beautiful. And I think I was saying, I'll have to edit this if I repeat myself, but before I was cut off, I was saying that I think I always had an appreciation for, with punch needle, how you could finish things in interesting ways. But because it never had that tradition so much of being framed, I don't know why my brain went that way and not for cross stitch, but it was really Priscilla and Chelsea who kind of opened up the whole finish it any way you like kind of spectrum, that you can use magnets and take things on and off and use old and crusty bits, like, you know, like this thing that I was talking about doing with Harry. Gosh, I hope that didn't get lost too. I'll have to go back and look. Anyway, they kind of opened it up for me about use your creativity and imagination and find things to put things on. My final one I'm going to show you from Debbie Marinelli is Santa Claus. This is the one I wanted to show you last year, and I was too lazy to dig him out of the box because I'd already put all the Christmas things away and wrapped it up carefully and lugged the boxes out to the garage, and I was not going to go digging for him then. So you can see him now. Look how she's done the beard. She did longer loops to give it dimension. So it's like 3-dimensional. And then I think she's got whisper on his eyebrows. And then a little pom-pom at the top. And then she gave him a little key and some greenery. And he's sitting on a cookie punch. Isn't that clever? I guess she just drilled a hole up the bottom and put a little stick. And then she's got some, yeah, it's just a screw. He's sitting on a screw that she's put up through the bottom and then put some washers on. Isn't that clever? Love him. So he's definitely going out this year. I think I was showing you some previous finishes that were all finished for me by Vanna. So they, except for the stockings. A friend of mine had finished the stockings for me. And I was showing these and saying how my children don't use them because they're not big enough. This is the first one I did. He's still available as a kit. The other reason they don't like this one is when I put it up, somebody always comments about, why is there a fireplace in the staircase? So this is what I'm dealing with. Here is, oh, I've got a thread on there. Next Child's. Again, I think this is still available as a kit. I never did one for my daughter. I had bought a kit and I never did it. So I've got to get on that at some point. This is a Prairie Schooler. Vanna finished for me as a flat fold. I love how she did that with the polka dots. I think it's darling. It's very, I did it just as called for. I mean, it's very traditional looking Prairie Schooler. I have seen it done on that fabric. I know you can get it from Fat Quarter Shop that's blue and it's dyed with white snowflakes on it or stars. And I think it looks spectacular in that too. But this is the very sort of traditional Prairie School finish, which I still really like. The other one's kind of magical too, though. Vanna finished all these pillows for me, and I don't have the patterns with me. I mean, you've seen these 100 times. If I get organized, don't hold your breath, I might put the names of the patterns beneath, but just know that they're all either Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage Needleworks. So here it's Snow Cold with cute little, it looks like snowflakes in the back. Vanna finish. This one I think is a real testament to her skill because the stitching on this one is terrible. But when she finished it all up, it looks quite cute. If you go close, you can see how wonky his smile is. I could go in there and try and fix that a little, but I'm going to leave it. I think I said I looked like I was a drunken sailor on leave when I stitched this, but send it off to Vanna and presto bingo. Look how lovely it is. It's got a little jingle bell on the top and then cute little candy cane fabric. Here's another little one. He's cute. He's got a little snowflake button and snowflake fabric. Here's another one. And I said I love how she put the fabric around the edge here. Little gingerbread man, and there's a gingerbread man pin. And the same fabric on the back. This is Country Christmas, an older one. Love the plaid. Love how she put it around the edge on this. Super pretty. These just feel so good. She stuffs them so tight. They're lovely. This I love, the cocoa cup. And again, she did the fabric around and cute little black and brown and white polka dots. Here's the poinsettia house. Beautiful. And the last one, Peace on Earth. I like to hang him on a door so he gets special notice. Those other ones I think I'm going to put in a big dough bowl. I have some other ornaments on my tree, which I'm not going to go yank off right now, that I made that either I finished or other people finished for me. So I think what I'll do is I will insert some photographs of some of my decorations around the house. And I know I love looking at other people's houses decorated for holidays. So I'll put some of the pictures in and you can see. Here's Peace on Earth. Very pretty fabric on the back. And this is how she stuffed this one in the back, but you really can't see unless I hold it up close. If I go like that, you would not know. She matched the fabric perfectly. So I love these. Thank you, Anna. I think that's all. I did talk about my plan, unless it got edited out. Work on this. Finish up Harry. Get ready for Christmas. That's a big plan. I'm going to do another giveaway. Since you all were so patient, I'm getting close to 4,000. So hold on to your hats. Get your friends to subscribe and like, because I'm going to do a big giveaway then. But until then, I thought this would be cute. Stacy Nash Primitives, and yes, I have 2 copies of this, so I'm giving one away. December 25th, Merry Christmas Pin Keep. So, let's see, for this one, if you are interested in winning this pattern, tell me if you are bedeck all the things type decorator, or if you are kind of a minimalist decorator for the holidays. So, don't say don't say giveaway, don't say contest, don't say enter, just say, I like to bedeck all the surfaces and tell me about that, or say, oh, I'm really pretty minimalist and tell me that, and then I'll know that you are interested in winning this pattern. So until next time, my friends, I may not see you till after Christmas, just being honest here. As I said, my daughter comes home next week, and then my son arrives at 1:30 in the morning, like the day before Christmas. I have to go get him at the airport. Oh, there was one other thing I was going to show you. I got a very cute little wool tree. I have a little white one, but I went to a craft fair with my friend and got this really pretty green one. And I saw that Michelle Rudy on her fabulous Flossmas videos had a kit, and she was going to make one. I'm like, oh, they had kits. I probably could have made it myself. And then the next day she's like, I didn't make it. I was too tired. I'm like, yeah. I'm glad I bought one pre-made. I found out about this neat wool place near me called The Bee and the Bear, which really isn't that far from my house, and they were the ones at the craft thing selling the kits and wool supplies and punch needle supplies and rug punch supplies, and so I'm very excited to have discovered them to be nearby. And come January, I'm going to do a little explore, so maybe I'll take you on that adventure. But I got the one that they'd made. It wasn't that much more expensive than the kit, to be honest, so I just went for that. Anyway, I digress. I hope you all are excited about the coming holidays. I hope you are with family and friends. I hope you all had lovely Thanksgiving, if you celebrate that, if you're in this country, and if not, this is kind of the season of midwinter where people hibernate a bit. So I hope you get lots of stitching done. And hopefully I'll be back before too long. And I probably forgot other things I meant to tell you, but this is better than nothing. And at least it's recording now. I'm paying attention this time. I see the little numbers going by. So anyway, happy holidays, everybody, and I wish you all good things. Bye. I know one other thing I wanted to mention was some stitchy kindness. I got the cutest Christmas card from Darlene Wilson. So grateful is her YouTube name. She's delightful. She's so creative and fun, and sent me this adorable Christmas card with her chicken. So thank you, Darlene. I love it. I would show it here now, except my husband has already put it on a display with all our other Christmas cards. So you are festooning our house as we speak. So thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. Bye.